Okay, so welcome to the As of Yet Unnamed podcast.
My bad. It's all good.
Where we just talk about movies and entertainment and comic books and what have you. I am your host, the marvelous Mike Dudley, joined as always by my intrepid younger brother,
MD3 Marcus Dudley checking in. What's going on, people?
What up?
So basically, why don't you tell them what this podcast is going to be about and kind of like the general aim we're going for.
I'm sure we'll iron a lot of this out, but we're going to be talking a lot of movies because the world needs another movie and pop culture and geekdom podcast and or listening device. But yeah, we're going to be talking a lot of movies, some comic books, maybe some video games, just pop culture in general. Going to be very irreverent, I can tell you that much now. Yeah, maybe some video games will show up, and yeah.
In jokes that probably no one else but you and me will get, but that's okay.
Most definitely. You're going to hear a lot of distinguish and publish. Those are long-running jokes and stuff like that.
They're well-established.
Well-established. So, yeah, Michael, give them your geek creds, man. We're both certified, but I'm going to give you all the rundown for the uninitiated.
So I've been reading comic books since I was about 8 years old. Always been interested in writing and stuff like that. I've written a few things, nothing of real credibility, but I do have a minor in film studies from Florida State, and been writing a lot of reviews of comic books and movies online, especially on Facebook, for a long time, and people have always just said that I need to put this down and put it out to a more mass public, so this is my attempt to do that.
Yeah. I am in the School of Hard Knocks, and you will find that out very quickly. No, I'm currently enrolled in college and been reading comic books since pretty much Michael was the father of my game on that. He's my older brother, so we're both 90s babies. So I'm 35. He's, 39 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll edit that
We'll
out.
edit that out. We'll fix that in post.
But, yeah.
We're both young and virile,
Young
so
and virile.
line up, ladies.
90s products, right
And
there.
also, if we have not had sex and you would like to do it, please meet me by the nacho cart.
Indeed, Lil Leon Phelps for you. So yeah, we're pretty much going to dive into it. We were asked to make a list from about our top 10 movies and comic books. And 10 is hard to kind of flatten out because they could change on any given day. I think any avid moviegoer will go through their DVD collection, rewatch something, and be like, this is my favorite shit of all time.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot.
It's like asking a fat kid what his favorite cake is.
Right. So we're going to break down some of the hows and whys of some of these. Mark, you want to hit them with your list?
Sure. So my top 10 on movies is, first and foremost, it's always has to start off with a tie because controversy.
Because we're indecisive.
Clerks, right, because I'm indecisive. Clerks and Mallrats from Kevin Smith.
Hey, let's put a pin in that. What brought you? Why those two? Why those two? How did they make the cut above?
Because Mallrats was the first Kevin Smith movie that I ever saw. I saw that in theaters when it was playing at Miracle 5 here in town, and went and talked to my friend about it at school the next day, and was like, "Oh my god, I loved it! It had comic book references. It was geeks talking about, what does the thing's dick look like? Is it made out of orange rock? What happened? Can Mr. Fantastic stretch any part of his body? What happens, when Lois Lane and Superman have just great comic book stuff, and then cameos by Stan Lee and humor and, raunchy, 90s coming of age story. And then talked about that, and then the next day my friend was like, if you love that, you should see Clerks.
Right.
And that was the movie that made me want to be a director, writer, some sort of film capacity.
Was it the accessibility of Clerks, of anybody can do it kind of thing, of because it almost made my list too, only in the sense of I love the fact that he just wrote a movie about what he likes to talk about, and just disguised it as two dudes that the whole monologue that Randall goes on about how the Empire had to hire independent contractors is just this. It doesn't progress the plot in any real way.
No. It's a completely time-wasting movie, and yet I connect to it so much because it's just I'm gonna steal a line from Kevin Smith because I've heard him say this before.
You'll get a lot of this.
Yeah, when he saw Slacker, he thought, "Oh my God, this counts as a film," and it was very much the same for me. I was like, I didn't know that like you could just do this and people would pay money to see it. Like all it is just people bullshitting and talking about the things that they were going to talk about anyway.
Right.
Holy crap! Like
for those uninitiated, he's talking about Richard Linklater's Slacker, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So those two hold a real special place in my heart. I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, and those were the two that really set me on that path. And made me want to get involved in like the creative process.
Yeah, as I said, Michael's fathered my game on a lot of this shit. So like when he showed me Clerks, we were at my aunt's house and when she lived out in the sticks, pre-Tucker, way back in the day. And I saw Clerks and I didn't really connect with it. I didn't dislike it, but I think I ended up going to sleep. And then later he went back like and showed me Mallrats and he rented it. And I thought I watched that movie and Michael can attest to this. Michael went away to the Coast Guard later. And when he came back, I had been watching Mallrats every day that summer. Like every day. Which that'll lead me into comedies. I love irreverent stuff, so I'll just give you my first three because it was Mallrats, The Pest, John Leguizamo's wonderful The Pest, and if you hate that movie, then you got no place here.
We're going to talk about The Pest
a lot. The Ladies' Man and Half Baked and Mallrats. Like those movies were on a constant rotation on VHS every day for like 2 summers.
Yep.
And so those three on any given day are like I love The Pest. It's just a cartoon, man. It's a Looney Tunes movie. It's like come to life. And they got terrible reviews, but like I based my life off of that film. Like every video game character I create, it's like Pest. Back in the day, all my passwords, Pest. Everything.
We can cut that part out.
Yeah, they're not in anymore.
Somebody accessing your old Yahoo fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm typing into MySpace right now.
Yep. Yeah, if you're gonna find an active MySpace, it probably is. But yeah, like I love I love a lot of movies that are just panned critically and commercially. Like MacGruber is really high on my list too. Like I love just silly, stupid stuff. But it's like very niche. Like it's not all stupid comedy relates to me, but like if it talks to me, I'm gonna watch it 40,000 times. Like
you do tend to like a lot of the like character movies in terms of people who do silly voices and slapsticky and
I mean, yeah, that is The Ladies' Man is an SNL skit stretched to 90
minutes. Yeah.
So is MacGruber. Right. Pretty much The Pest is.
The Pest is just him doing different racist voices for like
pretty
90 minutes.
Pretty much. Well, we won't go there, but yeah.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny as hell, but like
again, it's like Looney Tunes.
It's definitely yeah. There's stuff that definitely like he does that would not fly in today's woke society, which is
maybe these will help you decide. No, John Leguizamo plays a scam artist in that. And in it, at one point they go to a club and they drive this Jeep around, and their goal is to get tickets to get into the club to hide from the Scottish Mafia. And they press a button and they transform their Jeep. They like speakers just magically grow out of the bottom, and they turn the bass up and they knock these 2 goofy white dudes out. And that like spoke to me so much. I was like, I wanted that Jeep. Still to this day, I want turntables. Oh man, yeah.
Oh, maybe we could get to something right there. Okay, so top 5 cars that you want from movies. Not now. We don't have to do it now. But maybe let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. Put a pin in that. Mark it down.
I can tell you now. The Akira motorcycle is on that list. So.
Okay. See, now I got to come up with something better. Okay. So now I got to come up with something way better than that. I know what I want.
Michael's like the boat from Days of Thunder. What was the boat movie? Tom Cruise is it?
Oh, boat movie.
Snap. Whatever. What boat movie am I thinking of? Whatever. I don't know. We'll come back to it.
Talking about from Jaws?
No. Yeah, you would like to work on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll cross those bridges. Yeah, Michael's like the car from Days of Thunder. I don't know why I said boat. Whatever.
Because you're thinking of
it's on the cover, isn't it?
Thunder in Paradise, which is the Hulk Hogan.
I'm mixing up I'm in my mind. I'm going to movie gallery, not Blockbuster, because we didn't have money like that.
No.
We went to movie gallery, and I'm mixing.
We went to the movie gallery.
Yeah, there was a VHS of Days of Thunder, and there was a boat movie right next to it. So when I said that in my brain, that those became one movie. But either way. But yeah. So what else is on your list there, partner?
For me, okay. So let's see. What did I do with it? Okay. We just mentioned Jaws, of course. Jaws
Word of advice. Michael, at some point, we're going to make this a segment. Michael is going to progressively cast Jaws. Like, Michael will hit you with, like, I'll give you an example he hit me with on the phone one day. We were talking about when Godzilla came out. Ken Watanabe was in the movie. And we were like, dude, he's so good at everything. He's just so subtle and so good. And Michael, in his inebriated status, says, if I were to recast Jaws.
That does sound just like me.
Ken Watanabe would be the boat. And they started an ongoing thing where Michael would hit you with an actor. Like, Regina King would be. So that will definitely, you'll hear a lot of those. In fact, one day we'll just dedicate one of these to Michael casting Jaws.
I just love Jaws. Jaws is great. It's great. All right, so next was Planet of the Apes, the 68 version.
Not the Marky Wahlberg version?
No, not the Marky Wahlberg version.
Did you like the new movies?
I did.
Some of it's lost a little bit with, like, I missed the... It's the only series where, like, the makeup budget got worse.
Yes. Yeah. And the story got more fantastic and less believable. I call it the Nolan Dark Knight syndrome.
Okay.
We'll put a pin in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the ones made with Andy Serkis playing Caesar. They're good, but it doesn't hold the same nostalgia for me because Planet of the Apes, when I grew up, being a child of the 80s, I grew up on reruns, retro TV, and movie marathons because that was my babysitter. So Planet of the Apes was just something that was always on. If you had basic cable, it was on one channel, guaranteed.
Yeah.
At any given point.
Theater.
Yeah, exactly. So I grew up watching that and just being completely enthralled with it, and it's never the first time I saw it, I was probably in high school because I had always seen it in pieces,
right,
or through commercial breaks or something. So the first time I actually sat down and watched it, it blew me away as far as how good this movie was, especially when later I learned about the budget and all the movie, the shooting problems and like exactly what they had to get. The fact that movie exists at all is beyond comparison in terms of quality movie for me. So
I understand like why the luster was lost. I know if they did a Wizard of Oz nowadays, even if it was shot for shot, but they just did a CGI Tin Man, like there's something about the makeup and like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I feel you on that. You on that.
And of course, it's Chuck Heston just overacting his ass off and just chewing the fuck out of the scenery.
But you wouldn't cast anybody else in that role, though. Like, bar none.
We'll put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Make a note of that. We'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. Who would you recast in Planet of the Apes? The original Planet of the Apes.
I already got that down.
See.
Good job. See, this is why we hired you for nothing.
Exactly. All right, let's.
For you, what was next on?
All right, well, there's a bunch of I'm a comedy buff, man. The other ones they all came out right around the same time. 2008, 2009 was like a big year for comedy. It was like Pineapple Express came out, and like Step Brothers came out around that time. So these movies I've seen, like I can quote you Step Brothers top to bottom pretty much. Like if that movie comes on, like
I can attest.
I know it's a lot of people. Like I like it over Talladega Nights. I like it over the other guys, but like that to me is Adam McKay, Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly at their best. So I'll give you another pack of three, but it's Tropic Thunder, which my God, that movie just speaks to me. And we're gonna do a whole segment on Brandon T. Jackson one day because he is the underrated star of that movie. For that guy to come in as a relative, much an unknown actor and hold his own against heavyweights like that, Like, give that.
I mean, literally everyone else that he shares
in fact,
every scene with.
We'll start this segment now. Underrated performance of the day. We'll start this segment this motherfucking episode. Brandon T. Jackson.
Brandon T. Jackson.
Shout out. Love
Also,
seeing you in BoJack Horseman.
that's right.
As a
Yeah,
voice.
that's right.
Even
hold
Big
on.
Mama's house. Do something.
Was he in Big Mama's house?
Yeah, the third one. Why I know that? I don't know. My racist grandfather went to go see the first
Wait.
He came back. He was like, "It was okay." Tell me what you really think. But no, because I think
My racist grandfather.
that's a true story.
Took you to go see.
No, he didn't take me. He went to go see it, and then I think he was.
Why?
I
Wait,
think he
so
went
he didn't
with
even take you?
I think he went with Ligia, his mail order Colombian bride. And
This is a whole story. We'll get into this.
But yeah, anyway, Brandon T. Jackson's in the third Big Mama's house. But yeah, so shout out to him, man. He was an underrated performer in that movie. Downey, everybody remembers that. I mean, come on, man. Jack Black killed it. Ben Stiller, say what you want. That guy is hilarious. He's been consistently funny for 20 some odd years. Like, get out of here. So those three are my other package deal of just like, it was a good time for comedy.
Wait, you said
Tropic Thunder, Walk Hard.
You didn't say Walk Hard.
Walk Hard is top 10.
Walk Hard.
Easy. But that movie, I do like a lot of stupid stuff, and that movie is stupid.
Yes.
I will go to bat any day. It is a great movie.
The
songs work. It is.
I will absolutely go to bat with you on that because that movie works because everybody is in on the joke.
Yep.
That everything that they say is just the height of ridiculousness. It's all, if you're a music fan, it's all just music references. If you're one of those people that's like, oh, I love every genre of music. They reference every genre of music, and quite frankly, the songs really kind of work, like in a weird, like Weird Al kind of way.
Even
they really work.
When he sings the song like "A life without you is no life at all," it's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Beautiful song, and it's supposed to be funny, but it's a great song. Like, let's duet. I know people that are not into country music, whatever. My friend Mike Wentz, which I'm sure you'll hear about on this podcast. He saw Walk Hard, and he's like, the music is great, and yeah, that's not his genre of music by any means. But
it's the greatest. If you've ever seen a music biopic, this is it's every music biopic you've ever seen, but in the best way, in the most satirical, laugh out loud way. And John C. Reilly, who actually credit where credit's due, should have won every Oscar, but also is a classically trained music and dance man, in a very real sense, crushes it because he just does every genre of music ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will go to bat for you on that one.
Yeah, Walk Hard. I admit that I love stupid stuff. I will fully take that L. But Walk Hard, I will say, is a good movie. So yeah, I'm kind of hitting y'all with some package deals. But to recap, all the comedies: Ladies Man in the Past, Half Baked, Mallrats, Walk Hard, Step Brothers, Tropic Thunder. I know a lot of them are modern. I still love, obviously, Monty Python. I like The Meaning of Life a lot, but The Holy Grail is Ghostbusters. But for me, I'm talking my personal favorites, the one that I've just stuck with and rolled. No argument there.
Well, I definitely had Tropic Thunder on my list on there as well. So it's one of the, to me, that's one of the greatest comedies ever. Just especially as a movie lover, if you love music and you listen to Dewey Cox or you watch Dewey Cox,
right? If
you love movies, Tropic Thunder is just a send up to every movie you've ever seen ever. And
I think it was born out of Justin Theroux, which everyone knows as an actor. He co-wrote that script. They were joking about they watched a special feature on Platoon where I think it was Oliver Stone directed that, right? Yeah, and he took them to some camp or whatever, and they tried to imitate war. And there was Johnny Depp apparently woke up and somebody's like, "You're dead, Johnny," or whatever. And Ben Stiller just thought it was the funniest thing. He's like, "You're trying to imitate the horrors of Vietnam with a bunch of Nancy Boy actors, act like it's a real experience." And so if
you want to make war, you got to become war.
Yeah. So,
I didn't draw first blood.
All right, let's keep it moving.
All right, so next for me is a double. I'm going to throw a double package deal on there. The Princess Bride and
Perfect movie.
Labyrinth. For very much the same reasons.
There's definitely similar in spirit.
Yeah, very similar in spirit. Princess Bride to me, perfect movie.
It's hard to argue.
It's made in a very classical 1940s style, like a bunch of Hollywood backlot sets created in a studio, classic costumes, the sword fighting. My God, just my God. I read an interview one time with the fight coordinator of that movie, who is world-renowned sword expert. Like, his name escapes me at the moment. Forgive me, but he basically said that of all the people he's ever worked with, Cary Elwes and Manny Patinkin were the most dedicated and the most skilled, because not only did they have to do everything correct, in sync with real swords, but they also had to do it left-handed.
And comedically too. Like, it's a serious scene, but it's like, we'll get into this later, but like the arts of being martial, like when you can tell a story through a fight, big props. And
Exactly.
Those two, I don't consider them to be martial artists by any means. Like, when the artistry comes across in a fight scene, I'm all for it.
Well, but it's the same. It's the same thing as like pro wrestling. When
Oh, you'll get a lot of these. I'll save that one.
It's telling the story through the art of the dance, or through the art of the combat, is so important. And it was mastered in that. It was so beautiful. And then of course you throw in Andre the Giant, and just, it's a very quotable movie.
Yeah, 100%.
Brilliant. And then Labyrinth, same thing. It's Jim Henson at his best.
Yeah.
He's allowed to be as weird as he wants to be. He's not constrained by trying to keep it necessarily PG. Like, not that he would want to go really hardcore or anything, but
he does kind of bring that
but
darkness element, like Tim Burton-esque kind of, where it's like got that dark feel to it.
It's him being, I mean, essentially the whole movie's about a kidnapping and about a guy who desires a girl who is way under his league.
Yeah. True confession, though, I watched both of those movies a tremendous amount as a kid, and then I went back and watched. I haven't seen them for like 20 years. I need to go back and watch Labyrinth, but I saw Princess Bride recently, all the way through, like less than, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago at the most. I forgot.
I literally watched it 5 days ago.
I went back. I was like, dude, this is a perfect movie. Like, there's
not a scene wasted. Not really. Like, that movie moves at a really brisk pace.
Yeah.
Brilliant movie. But anyway, so Labyrinth, childhood nostalgia. I love them.
Yeah. Those are hard to argue, those two. I got no notes on those. All right, y'all will learn very quickly on this next one. I am a Johnny Depp guy. I'm not going to get into whatever's going on with Amber Heard. That's not what this is about. But Johnny Depp was like my first man crush, like bar none. And one day, Lorraine's friend, my friend Jeremy Beador came with. We went to the video rental place, and we rented Blow and Donnie Brasco in the same day. And Blow has easily become one of my favorite movies of all time. I think Ray Liotta is perfectly utilized in that movie. He's the most understanding. Like, he's amazing in that movie. Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz are both just powerhouses. What's the because I'm talking about the bad guy in the movie, the guy that has the three eyes.
Diego Luna.
Is that Diego Luna?
I think so.
Is it?
Research it. Look it up.
Let's Google that.
Go ahead. Keep talking. Keep talking.
But yeah, Below.
What was it again?
I got it.
Yeah. Below. I don't think it is Diego. I could be wrong. Either way. Yeah, Below, to me, I've seen that movie. It's like if I'm scrolling through and it's on TNT or TBS, I'm like, fuck, because it's going to be like a 3.5 hour investment, and I'm just going to stick it through.
Jordi Mola.
That's it.
His name was Diego Delgado.
I know it's Diego in the movie. That's why.
Anyway, but
like, you fucked me, Diego. He's like, Derek fucking for real. Yeah, I've seen that movie a lot.
Also, Paul Rubens.
Yeah, Paul Rubens. Yeah,
and Ethan Suplee.
Yeah, he's Derek fucking for real. You cut out the middle. Yeah, I've seen that movie a lot. So when Ray Liotta does the cheers to Johnny Depp, and they're like, may the stars always shine, may the sun always be on your face, and the wind always at your back, whatever. It's a beautiful.
That's an Irish salute.
And how Johnny Depp goes for like when his mom calls the cops on him.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm doing this for your own good. And then he ends up marrying a woman who does nearly the exact same thing.
He's got a fucking kilo of coke in the truck
Why don't you fuck me anymore, George? Like, it's the greatest. And she ultimately is like, that guy's tragedy is, I mean, great movie. Anyways, but yeah, Below.
So, what's the other Johnny Depp?
Oh, yeah, I can just go ahead. Pirates of the Caribbean. That movie is... When I was drinking, I was a rum drinker, and oh my god, that movie, I liked them all, only because I'm such an easy mark for it. Like, as long as you have Johnny Depp make a great entrance, which he does in every movie, check. There's going to be a daring escape by him and company. Okay, check that box. And he gets into shenanigans with the
shenanigans aplenty.
With that score playing over it, that's worth my $15 every day. I don't care what the ancillary characters are. I don't give a shit. I'm not saying they're great movies, but like, if you take Johnny...
But they are.
They are,
movies.
though.
They're great escapist movies. Like, they're just popcorn munchers where you can just throw food and snacks in your face and be like, let's see what shenanigans happen now.
Like, he's going to do some daring escape.
Ooh, I hope he does the thing where he's kind of drunk. Oh, he did it!
Where he swam. I love Captain Jack Sparrow. Like, my friends and I, that was the cheers for years. Is take what you can, give nothing back.
That's right.
Like, I freaking love those movies. Like, yeah, I'm not
I will drink to that.
Raise my Mountain Dew tea, sir. Yeah, I love. It's just such a good action movie. Like, I understand. I think Indiana Jones. I've watched a lot of Indiana Jones as a kid. If somebody were to say like, "Oh, that's my favorite adventure movie," full credit. Like, that's one of the Godfathers of it all. But like, it's just to me, and like Pirates just hit me at the right time in my life. Like, I was already a Johnny Depp fan, and like, if you take him out of that movie, it's a completely mediocre movie. It's like Val Kilmer and Tombstone. You take him out, it's a good movie, but it's not great. But Johnny Depp carries all of that.
Speaking of which, that was one of my on my list actually was Tombstone, specifically for Val Kilmer. Just as good as that movie is, as well shot as that movie is, the name of the game.
It's George P. Cosmatos, man. He directed Cliffhanger, bro. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I know weird stuff about weird things. That was not Google.
That was a weird connection. Wow.
Yeah.
And he also did. He recently did like.
No, he died. He died back when I was in high school because I wrote a report on it.
Oh, never mind.
We had to do a weekly news event, and I saw it, and I was the only person who knew who he was, bro.
He's also. There's something else he's done.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. Anyways, we'll put a pin in that.
Cliffhanger.
But yeah, he also did Cliffhanger. Tombstone. The name of that game is Watch Val Kilmer because
Valley Kilmer.
That dude has the best lines. I mean, as in a cast full of premier names. I mean, you have Kurt Russell, you have Sam Neill, you have Bill Pullman.
Bill Paxton.
I'm sorry, Bill Paxton. I'm sorry, yes.
Bill Pullman was the president of Independence
Day.
That's also underrated performance.
That's also going to happen a lot on this podcast.
No gangster shit about that. He's like, I'm gonna fly this motherfucker.
Michael Biehn, not Powers Booth. What's his name?
Everybody, bro. It's a who's who.
Who played the main cowboy?
I'll figure it out.
But anyway, name of that game is just Val Kilmer makes that movie. He just has the best.
Michael Biehn was Johnny Ringo.
Michael
Biehn, yeah.
Was it Powers Booth?
Yeah, he's William.
That was Powers Booth. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Stephen Lang, everybody.
Stephen Lang.
Michael Rooker's in it.
That's right.
Charlton Heston was Henry Hooker. What?
Really? Chucky Heston's?
Apparently. Anyways, yeah, learn something new today.
Good. So anyway, that movie just keeps getting better. Apparently. So yeah.
Yeah, Val Kilmer is the glue in that movie. Like, everyone's performance is fine, but like, in my just personal opinion, it's like, you take him out of it, it's a good movie, but it's not like.
It would be a great movie even without him. But his presence in that movie elevates it to such a level that it is impeccable. It's a splendor to see. He takes that role and does so much with it.
He's instantly like, whatever's going on, your eyes are on him. like immediately,
instantaneously. He is the elephant in the room.
Yeah. No, that's I watched Tombstone a lot when I used to go to Best Buy like every single Tuesday yeah, that movie.
Now, have you heard the recent controversy about this?
The Huckleberry and Huckleberry.
Yes.
Val Kilmer and the screenwriter have said we wrote Huckleberry.
Really?
At least to what I read. Because I actually went down that rabbit hole.
Can you cite this information? Or
I will look for it.
No. This podcast is not about citation. This is about blind opinions.
What we think. I remember reading that once. You're going to get a bunch of disproving emails.
Well, actually, you guys are full of shit.
Yes, we are. First off.
All right. You want to take a quick break real quick?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Let's hit pause. We'll come back. Here's a word from our sponsors. And
Uptown Cafe. If you like fucking Rubens and you're in Tallahassee, go to that place and make in front of the best.
See, this is why we hired you for free, you stupid piece of shit. We are recording now, and thank you to our sponsors of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howell Law Firms and the Weinstein Company for... Thanks for our spots, and...
cigarettes have been smoked, drinks have been poured.
Thanks to our official mascot, Camel Joe.
I know, right? I've still got $90 in Camel bucks from a cash in one day. Anyways, all right.
Where did we last leave off?
Tombstone.
Doc Holliday, name of the game. Watch Battle of the Kilns.
All right. I guess it's back to me, right?
Yep.
All right. There's another movie I based my life off of, and it's Bill and Ted. That did not make the list, but I do love that movie. But the star of that in The Matrix. Oh my God, call me what you want. I love the first Matrix. I love the whole trilogy.
Yep.
Let's just be very frank here. You can say what you want. Every person I know that hated those movies, the handful of people I saw it in the theater with, their jaw was on the floor during like the Ducati scene when Trinity steals that, when they're fighting on top of the truck. The siege on Zion, like, get the fuck out of here. That's 14 minutes of just mayhem. But the first Matrix movie man, if you weren't alive when that hit theaters, like, I never saw it in theaters, and I hope that they bring it back whenever they drop the new, what's the new one? Resurrection?
Yeah.
Movie? Yeah.
The greatest gift you ever gave me.
God. Michael has I'm going to let him tell the story, but Michael has a propensity, I think is the word I'm looking for, to tell a story that is a story that happened to me. And he adopts for himself. Michael will be like, this one time I was 6'5", and I was graduating Leon in 2005.
So the greatest thing that ever happened was Marcus went and saw The Matrix, and I asked him about it, and I was like, hey, what's The Matrix about? And he was like, I can't tell you, because anything I'm going to tell you is going to ruin the movie. All you have to know is there is no spoon.
And that is 100% how that happened. Wink. But no, my two older brothers went and saw it, and they were just like, dude, we're not going to tell you what happens, because like anything we tell you is going to ruin it, like he said, but like, they pretty much said, like, this movie is made for you. Like, I was a Karate Kid growing up, I was a Ninja Turtle, I was all of that shit, and it's rolled into one, and man, like, that first Matrix is arguably the greatest action movie of all time.
Not even.
I mean, of all time, we're talking. You can argue other action movies.
Highlander.
I mean, Highlander is the greatest movie of all time.
It did win Academy Award for Best Movie of all time.
Look it up. How many Oscars?
It's in there.
It's going to say 0, but that's because there's not a number.
They just haven't updated the Wikipedia page yet.
Exactly. But no, The Matrix, man, I love that, man. Like, that changed the way, like, my movie-going experience changed after The Matrix, man. Like, the bullet time, like, the Yo One Ping, I think I might be botching his name. The guy, I mean, that was like a masterpiece of his. Like, the wire fu, everything. Like, say what you want about Keanu Reeves. I would have personally done all of his movies. All of them. There's not one that would have been like, no, I don't know about that. The Gift? Fuck out of here. I love Keanu Reeves.
Get the truck!
The Gift? Look up The Gift. Oh my God.
Also, Katie Holmes movies.
Katie Holmes' movie. She's a wholesome girl. Yeah, man. Speed, check.
Yep.
Dracula,
Constantine.
Check. Constantine, check.
Walk in the Clouds, check.
Man, all that. Devil's Advocate.
What's
check.
Eating Gilbert? Great.
That was not Keanu Reeves. That was Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Sorry.
Same difference. But yeah, man, I love that guy, man. Bill and Ted, check, all that. But John Wick, man, John Wick is, and I say this in the best. I say this in the best way possible. John Wick is a Jackie Chan movie, and like the third one now, it's just like when he's just throwing the knives like egregiously in a knife shop. It's like this is a Jackie Chan movie, like, and I mean it in the best way possible. Shout out to Sean Moten who brought that to my attention. But
so,
yes.
Full confession time. I have only seen John Wick 2
You gotta get
in my entire life. I get the concept. I want to see more. Just never made the jump. I want to be there.
Yeah.
Especially now that they got a fourth one coming out. But that also being said, I haven't seen all of the Fast and the Furious movies, so
that's a whole different. Yeah.
I'll get there.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing, whatever. But yeah, no, The Matrix, I love those films, man. Like, bullet time changed it all. Action movies weren't the same after that. Like, I mean, the mind fuck of it all. I mean, I could do a whole hour myself on just Matrix 2 on Matrix Reloaded. So I'm sure when the new one drops, we'll circle back to this. Because
we actually, in my opinion, wrote a better third Matrix movie than they did. And you will get... I really do hope we get into that because I really want that out there in the ether somewhere so that just somebody can hear it and understand where we're coming from.
Yeah.
The Matrix.
Matrix, yes. Anyways, doggy style. That's a ladies' man right. Anyways,
but I did not.
Doggy style.
Okay, so next for me is and again I'm going to do two at a time. I'm just going to dump two similar ones. The Thing, and Alien.
Full confession, I know about the movie. Never seen The Thing in its entirety. I know.
One of the best horror movies.
It's one of those things I know so much about it just because it's in so much of the pop culture, like ethos or whatever. I've never seen it in its entirety.
Now, do you know the ending in terms of do you know who turns out to be?
I saw the remake and I saw how that one ended. I'm just saying I've never seen either one in their entirety. I've seen the majority of the first one, and I saw the remake, a vast majority of that too. I wasn't as thrilled with the remake, but like I saw the ending of that one, but everyone's like that doesn't. But
because the ending of the remake is just a prequel, and so it literally ends with the opening scene of the first movie. So it's not necessarily a remake as much as it is a reimagining, reboot, prequel,
thing, like whatever they call those.
Whatever, where they're trying to cover all their bases. Where it's like it's not the same thing you've seen before, but we're gonna do something different, but not really.
Right. No, but full confession, never seen that in its entirety. And
so worth it, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you are into the horror, like whodunit.
Yeah.
It is really interesting to see the twists and turns that movie makes in terms of who ends up being possessed and who's really on whose side, and it ends so ambiguously and so nihilistic. It really touches me in a way, in a deep, dark place, that's satisfying. It's almost
it scratches that itch.
Yeah. Like, oh, everybody's fucked, and so avoiding spoilers if you haven't seen it. Like, I highly, highly recommend it. It is one of the best sci-fi movies ever made, especially if you're into the horror mystery genre or the thriller aspect. Similarly, I love Alien because it is just the essence of the story is there's somebody in the house, but it's set in space. Yeah. Which to me adds an extra element because you can't run to the neighbor's house. You can't go down the street and call the cops. You are stuck with this thing that is an unstoppable killing machine.
And it is going to kill you.
It is going to get you.
It's going to kill you. If you don't do something about it.
And, quite frankly, gives us one of the most badass female
100%.
protagonists.
She's the queen of that shit, man.
Ellen Ripley is the shit.
Yeah.
I once saw a meme that basically broke down Alien as smart woman tells a bunch of dumb men
Yeah.
the best way to handle the situation. Nobody listens to her. Everybody but her dies, and it's perfect to me.
Yeah.
It's
the isolation of that movie that, like you were saying
Yeah.
earlier, man. It's like there's no help coming. There's no cavalry. There's no nothing.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, no, that movie is.
And then you add it on with there's no CGI. There's no.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece, man.
It's all shot in very old school format. It's very claustrophobic, very tight knit spaces. Very, you feel the ambiance of you are on this ship and you have nowhere else to go. It is imperative that whatever the problem is, whether it's an oil leak or we run out of food or whatever, or an alien invasion where we're all gonna die, we have to solve this fucking problem right now.
Right. Yeah. I would say if I know they've kicked the idea around a few times, but if they were to ever do a Metroid movie, I would want it to feel similar.
Yes.
Like those games are so much of it's Samus Aran alone, or Aran, however you say it, alone on a planet, and it's like I need to upgrade my. I mean, obviously the premise of the game, she loses whatever powers at the beginning, but the isolation of those games is like that's how I would want if they were to ever greenlight that movie. That's how I would want it to feel of like I'm alone on this planet, and it's
side point.
Right.
Side point. Who would you cast as Samus Aran?
I'll say this, and I know that somebody made, I forget whoever that really popular guy is that does the fan fiction posters. When I saw Brie Larson as Samus, I was like, that is actually spot on. And whatever you think about her as Captain Marvel or her attitude on the set or whatever, she's a good actress. She won an Oscar, like, hands down the room. She earned that. It wasn't just like a handout. Like,
no. She,
I think she would be good. Other than that, I would probably go with like a no-name, just because then you don't
really
get the attachment of you don't really because you didn't even know Samus was a girl until the end of Metroid 1, and it was a secret ending. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So attaching, I mean, you could know obviously the movie's gonna play into that. Just from a marketing thing, you're gonna have to. But like to have somebody that you have no attachment to of previous or very minor previous work. See, I think that would be important.
Here's my thing. I go the opposite in terms of you can't play off that no one knows that Samus is a female. Well, so I would say lean hard into it. Angelina Jolie or Charlize Theron.
I mean, Charlize
just get some huge actress and back up a truck of money, because you're not going to be able to recreate the magic of no one knows that Samus is
I know that. Like I was saying, from a marketing standpoint, you're going to have to lean into it. Like, you can't market it as like, they're going to lean on the, like I would. I'm not a marketing whiz by any means, which is a Step Brothers reference I won't use. I'm not a marketing whiz, but
we've done the graphs, the science.
Yeah. Put liquid paper on a bee and it died. But yeah, I would lean into just the unknown, so that way you can at least have a little bit of dissociation from her and not have any prior baggage of what you. I mean, Charlize is going to be good in anything. Angelina's probably going to be really good in everything. But for me, like I think Brie Larson would be really good, and if not, then probably just go someone who you've seen a few times in a TV show and was like, oh, she was good, Matt. Like,
see, I think that there's not enough connection to the general public with Samus and the Metroid franchise that you almost need to attach a big name star in order to draw in the people who know nothing about it.
The thing is, though, is you're going to spend the only budget is going to be. I mean,
it's special effects.
She's 100%. The only one on the planet. She talks to holograms and like statues most of it, and like ancient computers. So that's easy. So I mean, budget wise, if you could do it $60 million, that's not like a crazy. I mean, Joker was a $50 million movie, $55 million.
Yeah, but $20 million of that went to Joaquin Phoenix. So
but that's what I'm. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Like you could spend half the budget on a big name draw, and then the rest of your budget is just all special effects and digital, CGI and all this, that, the other. And I would be totally involved in that movie, like totally invested. Yeah, why not?
So yeah, Alien though. That would be
Alien. Yeah,
that would be the vibe that I would want if that movie hypothetically were to exist on Metroid. All right, I'll get you one. The Soloist. Michael, I don't know if you've ever seen this in its entirety. Have you?
I have. Yes.
You have?
Yes. I've seen it exactly twice because it is an emotional movie that I need to make a commitment for.
I
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just watch this and put it on in the background and be like, oh, let me just fold laundry and put on the soloist.
Yeah.
Like, this is an emotional journey that I have to be invested for and be ready to commit to and be like, I'm going to feel like shit for the rest of the day.
it's not. It's I don't know. To me, it doesn't end on a downer ending though. Like it's not. There's nothing. It's sad circumstantially in the fact. That
I don't feel great afterwards.
Well, yeah, because the realization of like, oh, there's a lot of homeless people and there's a lot of mental
Sure.
health issues that are coincide, and it's just
Sure.
like. But to me, as a person that struggled with a lot like addiction and like a lot of my own mental health stuff and like just that feeling of hopelessness and like I don't know, man. Like, and this guy finds his outlet in music, and it's like I don't use this term like to be derogatory, but like he's crazy over music. It's the only way I can describe it. Like he's so infatuated. It is his everything. Like it's the only soothing thing, and it's like it's every force in him. And like I think you're about to say the line from Robert Downey when he talks to.
Do you want to go and do it?
Yeah, when he's like, I've never loved music, or I've never loved anything
As
like
much
this
as
guy.
This guy loves music.
This guy loves music.
Yeah.
And he says it to his ex-wife, and she's like, "Oh, thanks, buddy." But yeah, Downey and Fox are so good in that movie, man. Like that movie, it's part Fantasia, it's part just human struggle, like it's part, that movie.
Jamie Foxx won
He didn't win shit for that.
No? Did he get nominated? No.
Nope, not a one.
No?
Nope.
There was a nomination in that movie, no?
Not for acting.
No, but there was
Not that I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Research that. Let's come back to that. Just make a note.
Yeah, I don't think not Oscars. I'm sure it won.
We'll make it in our corrections in episode 2.
Yeah.
Where we would just apologize for fucking everything that we said.
Like, every other one of these just somebody else backpedaling.
Like, actually, if you look it up, fucking.
I'm saying off the top of my head because I thought that it was Oscar worthy, and I remember when the nominations came out, I didn't see it. I'm sure there's so many awards. It could have won a SAG award, right? I'm sure it's probably nominated for a handful of things, but Oscars wise, I don't think the Academy saw it. But yeah, no, Downey in that movie and Jamie Foxx, that movie, I've seen it a lot of times.
Yeah,
and it just speaks to me, man. Like when he's sitting in the theater and Downey gets him to go see the.
I love how you keep referring to him as Downey and not as his character name. Like every movie with him is just Downey. It's never like Tony Stark. It's either Tony Stark, which is a direct reference, or it's just Downey. It's just
hey man, the incomparable, the wise, the brilliant Robert Downey Jr. When him and Jamie Foxx are in the theater and like they do this sweeping motion, there's just so much camera work in that. It's just beautiful, and transformative, man. So
it's a really well shot movie.
In terms of when they get him the cello for the first time underneath the overpass, and they start to incorporate the city into the score. It's just all the sweeping camera motions, and then they follow the dove over the city. It's just like it takes me somewhere. A movie that I like to. I agree that it's not necessary. It is hope in the fact that they have found lifelong friendship, and the whole point of the movie is that like Jamie Foxx's character, it's like chemically having a friend does something different to you, and that's what the guy at the shelter or whatever is trying to explain to you.
Yeah. Like,
and so it is positive.
Everybody's medicated him. Everybody's tried to tell him what drugs he needs to be on. But what does he really need?
Yeah. Are you going to be here or not?
Are you going to be here or not? Right. A lot of people have told him.
Diagnosed and misdiagnosed. Yeah. But that movie transports me somewhere, and that to me is really an important factor. So, anyways.
So going from that, you could either go into another musical movie, or you could go into another Robert Downey Jr. movie. So, which one do you want to go to?
You roll the dice, baby. Let's do it. We can talk all RDJ all day.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
First off, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
First off,
is the top of all of this list. Don't worry about any of that. We get the incomparable Valley Kilmers. That's Key and Peele sketch. What they do. This is Downey's career. This is Val Kilmer's career. This is their trajectory. They meet. That is Michael and I summed up in a nutshell. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is my shit.
That movie is the shit.
Like Michael Kim has been critical of some of Shane Black's movies. I'm just like, I like this guy. So we get a pass on everything. Even The Predator, I was like, fuck it, Shane Black, let's do it, baby. Not a phenomenal movie. This is the mark of what I want in a Predator movie, but it's Shane Black, baby, let's roll it.
All good.
Anyway, what were you saying about which direction?
Well, you could either talk about another musical movie.
Just roll it. Go ahead.
Or you can talk about RDJ, which is your...
Oh, you want me to? Oh, I thought
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll keep it musical at the moment. Hustle and Flow.
Yes.
Hustle and Flow. I won't do it on this podcast because this is not what this is about, but I am a music guy myself. I rap, I've made beats, I play drums in bands, and the scene where Whoop That Trick comes together, it takes me, I still get chilled.
Find a DJ.
Yeah, find a DJ. And you'll hear, I'm sure I'll say this a lot when he's selling drugs to the dude. And he's like, that thing plays, man, it plays like a flute. And he's like, fuck with me, DJ. Fuck with me, DJ. Those are in my daily routine of saying stuff. I love Hustle and Flow for a lot of reasons. I understand some people are like, oh, it's just Terrence Howard doing whatever. Like, some people take it as kind of gimmicky or whatever. That movie, when I realized that it was a heist movie, as opposed, that's what got me. It's a heist movie. Go back and watch it. When the scene comes
on the same level as Casino or Heat or anything else,
it's a heist movie.
or Dead President or anything. It is a movie about a guy who has got a game going. He's a fucking con artist. This is a guy who is just making one deal to the next.
He's trying to just make it all meet when he cries in the church, and he's just like, he's such in the power of something greater than himself, and he cries. Like I said, when I realized it was a heist movie, and then they do the montage of everything in the movie coming together, and it's Isaac Hayes asking him, like, did you know Skinny Black before that day? He's in the movie. He's asking DJ about
Isaac Hayes in the movie?
Yeah.
That was Isaac Hayes?
Yeah, that was Isaac Hayes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't.
I promise you this.
Okay.
Watch me be wrong. I'm like,
actually,
yeah. But no, and the keep hustling.
Yeah.
He's like, this is my life, and it's a battle within. I gotta survive, even if I'm sinning to win. And if I show no remorse, I reap the devil's reward. Everyone loves Hard Out Here for a Pimp. Everyone loves like Work That Trick. Sure. That song to me is the climax of the film when it's all come together. And no, he didn't know Skinny Black. No, he's got a better bag of weed so he can sell it so he can get his foot in the door. Like he gets the chain just for this moment. Like he kisses Taraji P. Henson's character. I forget her name at the moment, but
Taraji P. Henson. Yeah, also most underrated performance fucking ever.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
She's phenomenal in everything she does.
Yeah, that Hustle and Flow, man, is like, as a music guy, I don't know, everyone thinks just like him being silly as like a pimp or whatever, but like he's incredible in that movie, and that was easily the best song of that year, so well deserved it on the Oscar. Shout out to 3 6 Mafia. So they captured Memphis. Craig Brewer, man, as a director, that guy's got a hood pass, man, as far as I'm concerned.
And he also did
he wrote Tarzan. He just did Coming to America.
But he also did
Black Snake Moan.
Black Snake Moan, which is another great musical movie because Christina Ricci's movies. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's a great one.
But also Sam Jackson being a
Black Snake is evil. Black Snake is up. Yeah.
Being a soul singer of a blues singer.
Yeah. Shout out to John Singleton for producing both of those movies, by the way. Watch the behind the scenes features on the DVD. You'll learn that I go hard on the movies I love, man. But he's joking about it. He's like, man, back 20 years ago, I was making Boys in the Hood, and I could barely get any money. Now I'm tying up white women in Mississippi. He said shit, man. So shout out to John Singleton. Rest in peace. I'm a fan of your body.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Now I'm sad.
Yeah, well.
R.I.P.
Yeah, John Singleton. So, yeah, Hustle and Flow is my jam, absolutely. It speaks to me a lot. So, anyways.
The second best musical movie ever made behind Walk Hard, Dewey Cox Story.
Yeah. Ray's really damn good too, but that's a whole different podcast.
Just to tag on what you were saying, the scene where the song all comes together. Like I've never been musically inclined. Like it's too difficult for me.
Right? Yeah.
But to see that scene where they
find the DJ,
find DJ, find it, and where it all comes together. To me, I got it. I understood the energy and the rush of creation of something artistic, and it really does inspire me. In terms of like, fuck, I want to go write something. I want to be a rapper. I want to figure out music. I want to whatever. Like it leads you on such a path of, it's such a beautiful moment of creation. It's the birth of Venus. It's Michelangelo's, the Sistine Chapel, God creating man. It's this beautiful, visceral, moment of creation.
And like when I've been in the studio before, and I've want to take some things myself, and it's like the energy that is captured. I know that it's not the most realistic as to how it actually goes down, and like, but the fact that they're kind of bootlegging this stuff all together, and like the mics are all jacked up, and like the energy that is felt though when you come up with the hook, or you come up with like the drum line that's gonna work, and you're like, oh, that's the one. Like,
right. Yeah.
When it all comes together, man, being in that, it captures that feeling that I got when I've been around stuff like that.
Sure.
Whether it be Paul Dixon, shout out all my 3.5 drafts.
3 and 1, cool.
3 and 1/2, baby. But yeah, like when those guys do something, and it's just like, you're just like, man, that's it. There's no other feeling that creation of music can produce. And Hustle and Flow has a lot of things like that. So,
and even just to turn it on to me, the inspiration of like when you hear a good line in a movie, or when you hear like the jealousy, the Schadenfreude, the moment of like, oh, why couldn't I? Why not me? That the low hanging fruit of it was so there. It was so obvious, and all I had to do was translate it. And there's a moment of like, damn, they did it. Anyway, I don't know where you go from there. The only other thing I have on my movie list is The Jerk, which to me is the pinnacle of American-made movies meets British comedy, of the absurdist humor. I saw this movie when I was probably...
Our father is a big fan of this movie too.
It's probably one of his favorite movies. Yeah. And I saw it. I didn't understand it at first, and it's one of those comedy movies that the more I see it, the more quotable it becomes. The more I understand it, the more I understand just the absolute absurdity of the movie.
It's not like a punchline joke movie.
No. It's completely just ridiculousness. It's almost like a Saturday it's a Saturday Night Live sketch. Saturday Night Live. Cut that. It's like a Saturday Night Live sketch, but in the best way possible, in terms of it's just a series of vignettes of silliness.
Right.
Like almost like Monty Python, almost like Faulty Towers, almost like...
They're just plot devices in between.
Yes.
Series of
how do we get to the next silly sequence?
Right. That's a good way to put it.
Almost like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, or National Lampoon's Christmas, or any of those things. But that to me is the pinnacle of it. It opens up with one of the best lines ever. I was born a poor black child in the South, and it's Steve Martin, who is the whitest motherfucker
dude ever. Who can shred on the banjo, by the way. Shout out to him and the Steep Canyon Rangers. I didn't know I knew that, did you? Watch that. That's what I do with my basket knowledge of useless information.
Encyclopedia Stupidicus.
Right.
That's right.
No, The Jerk is up there. I remember you showed it. I was on to a Michael moment. But I remember he rented, they were doing a movie night at our friend Caleb's house, my godfather.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, we're going to rent some silly movies. And Michael was like, oh, let's get The Jerk. And then like some other thing was like, y'all rented Legend, The Jerk, and I can't remember, something else. I think it was like Monty Python or something like that. Mm-hmm. And Michael put on The Jerk, and like at least 80% of the room was like, the hell is this? The hell are we watching? I'm like, you don't get it? You don't get it, please. Like, it's funny. He protects the cans. It's funny. Watching him go to bat for it taught me a lot about Michael. Like, he stands by his geek.
I will stand by the jerk because it's Steve Martin in his prime.
Yeah.
And there's no better comparison to just absurdist humor. It's just one series of silly situation after another, which I love. It's a cartoon.
It is.
He is completely Bugs Bunny, Roger Rabbit. He's completely Daffy Duck, the entire series. So
speaking of on to Stephen Martin, how did his comedy record sell? I've seen the video and I get it, but there's so many visual gags. He's like, I'm gonna walk funny like an Egyptian across the stage. It's a hilarious bit. How the fuck did that sell as a record? Y'all inform me, my older crowd, whoever might ever listen to this. How the fuck did that just sell as a record?
So for our 50 to 85 crowd,
I got an arrow. Like, that was a record. Oh man, I don't get it. Whatever.
So for all you baby boomers out there, please write into idon'tgiveafuck.google.com.
That it was funny at the time, Marcus.com. Oh man, I don't even know.
We will be coming with an official website, as yet to be determined.
It is yet to be determined.
We can't guarantee it's going to be safe for work, but
whatever. I think I'm well over 10, but I was asked to do a list. And like I said, it's going to change constantly. I'll go a little bit faster here, but this movie is not just my favorite anime. It is one of my favorite sci-fi films of all times. The Great Akira.
Yes.
I remember when it came out on DVD and everyone was super pissed. They're like, oh, they changed the dubs. And then I heard the voice acting on it. And whoever they got to do the new voice acting, smashed it out of the park.
I agree. 100%.
I was so worried about 100%. That. They killed it.
Because
it was so iconic. Like, everyone knew it a certain way. And they're like, oh, we're recasting it. And it was like, everyone made it different but their own. It was, whoever recast that, recast it.
Because here was the problem, was with the very first literal translation, I think that they just did a straight Japanese to English translation, which doesn't work.
Yeah.
In the redub, they made it more modernized. They changed some of the terms, some of the phrases, in order to
subtle differences,
in order to appeal to an American audience, which for me worked.
Nothing was lost in my opinion.
No.
But I was such a fan, like, this is showing my age a little bit, but like, Sci-Fi, before they just started playing whatever, they used to do Saturday animes. And back when we had VCR, VHS, we would tape it. And I taped Akira one night. I stayed up all night until Akira came on at like 2 in the morning, and it was the uncut version. And I taped all of it, tried to cut through the commercials and all that stuff we used to do back in the day.
This was back in the day where you had to actually sit down and watch the show. And when they came to commercial, you had to get up, press pause on the VCR to not record anymore, and then wait. We're finishing up the Taco Bell commercial. Oh, here we go.
Right. Yeah, no, I had that on tape, and then I watched it until the head on that thing was busted up.
Mm-hmm.
But that started a long trend in me going to video stores and renting animes that were only in Japan. Like, we had a comic book shop, Cosmic Cat, and they had all the old Dragon Ball Z's and all that stuff. And everyone, because they would release them on Cartoon Network up to a certain point. But John and I, my best friend, we would go to Cosmic Cat and just get all the movies and just take whatever. So we were so ahead of the curve, and we would just spoil shit for people. Like,
do you remember when they kicked you out because they caught on to the fact that you were recording all their tapes? Because you would go rent something like in the morning, go back.
I don't think that happened.
Oh no, they definitely were like, we know what you're doing.
I don't remember.
Maybe this is a John Shuck story.
Maybe. I don't think that happened to me though. I think I just stopped going because I stopped being able to get a ride out there.
No, because John Shuck at some point definitely. Never mind. We'll cut this out.
I don't remember that happened.
Never mind.
I could be forgetting about it.
No, because John Shuck told me a story. Who was like, "Oh yeah, they totally were like, you can't come back anymore because we know what you're doing." Like,
I think you're mixing up the Pokemon card trap.
Yeah. Never mind.
Let's
cut that shit out. I don't know what the statute of limitations is on that.
Yeah, because they never caught us stealing Pokemon cards, but they were like, yeah, you guys can't come back. Yeah, that's the Pokemon card story. Yeah. I was like,
never mind.
I mean, what the fuck is Comics going to kick you out about? They're doing the same thing they do. Okay, shut the fucking business down. All right, make a time limit.
Cut that shit out because I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. All right. But all right, yeah. So Akira's that one, and I think I got one or two more on the list. Iron Man started off the MCU, and that movie is a perfect fucking movie. Like, well, I'll get in. We have a whole Dark Knight spiel that we'll get into.
Mm-hmm.
We both like the Dark Knight, but we have some issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Logan is better than the Dark Knight, but I will say this. Iron Man is a perfect movie. There's no part of that sweater where you pull a thread and it unravels.
Sure.
The whole second act is him just tinkering in a garage, and it works beautifully. Like, it's a perfect movie. Like, it's so fun to watch. Downey is so good in it.
Perfectly fast.
Yeah.
And
Caught us up to, like, I mean, just, like, within the last year or two of that was Civil War, and that was when Iron Man came out, like, officially was, like, took all of us, like, it caught us, like, 40 years of comic history, 2 hours and some change.
Sure.
Know? Like, we were up to modern Marvel at that point. Like,
oh, yeah. Him admitting, spoiler alert, at the very end where he's like, I am Iron Man, that literally caught us up to the modern day in the comic books.
Yeah.
That movie is so good. It's a brilliant origin story told so well. There's not a wasted moment. Every single frame is absolutely necessary and absolutely advances the plot. As much as I would retroactively not like to admit, RDJ is the perfect Tony Stark, because I'll admit, when that movie first came out, when I first heard about it in 2007?
6, I think, whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah. Not when it came out
in 2008.
Right, but when it first...
They announced the casting, that
sure,
they were making the movie, and then they cast it, it was like 2006 or 7.
I was not a huge fan, because I thought that it was going to be the most whiny, narcissistic, non-capable, just princess, pretty boy, Tony Stark ever. And they absolutely made it work.
100%.
Robert Downey Jr. was so perfectly cast to be the misanthropic, rich boy, rich playboy, alcoholic.
All the above.
All of the above.
His star persona aligned, man. I remember when I cast it, I was reading an article on IGN.com, and they had a picture of him, and I think it was Good Night and Good Luck. And it was in black and white. I remember Michael took the mouse and, like, kind of, like, in his mind, drew, like, a little goatee over him. Was like, like, kind of doing, like, a little, like, with the mouse, like, imagining it in his mind. And he was like, I guess I could see it. And I was like, Michael, trust me on this one. Trust me.
You were absolutely right on that. 100%.
And I wasn't, like, crazy hip to Robert Downey Jr. at the time. Like, I just, what little bit I knew about him was just, like, I just had a feeling. It was just like, this is what it's going to be.
Well, because this was about the time that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang came out.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, around that time.
Yeah. And so... I distinctly remember you telling me, watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and tell me that he's not going to be a good Iron Man. And I literally watched it and I was like, I see your point. I just need to be convinced.
Yeah.
And he did it.
Yeah.
He crushed it.
Yeah.
Iron Man it set off the Marvel Universe.
And you're going to hear a lot of Marvel Universe talk on this podcast.
Because we're Marvel shills. We're getting like $3,000 a month just to talk about Marvel movies because we love that shit.
Yeah. We will get into all that. I love the MCU. To me, it all starts and begins with Iron Man, man. Like,
it set the pace. It really did. Yeah.
So, to move on to the final, the one... All right, as you will find out, I am a huge Kung Fu movie buff. And one of my favorites, I'm not saying it's the greatest Kung Fu movie of all time, but Way of the Dragon with Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris is the shit. I watched that movie 80,000 times, man. That's my absolute jam, man. Like, unquestionably,
so
is my shit. I'm not going to pontificate on that one too much, but if you like Kung Fu movies, I understand, like, Enter the Dragon is a better movie. There's plenty of, like, The Raid is a better Kung Fu movie. But
Crouching Tiger,
there's better.
Sure.
To me, that shit is just the epic showdown of Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee in the Coliseum. Is just.
I mean, they call each other out.
The score. It's perfect. It all comes together, man.
I mean,
one of those words, they allow each other time to stretch at the beginning because they recognize the warrior in the other one. That's yeah. You just watch it. If you haven't seen that, again, not the greatest, but my favorite. Yeah.
Which also ties into how did Chuck Norris perm his chest hair into such a delicate formation. Like a dewdrop of
the luscious V of
dewdrops
from my chest pube all the way down to my balls. when I first bought that movie on DVD when it was released, I played it for Michael and I gave him I fast forwarded through all the dialogue,
all the bullshit. Yep.
And I was just giving him all right, they're doing this, all right, they're doing that.
All the bullshit.
And there's a scene where somebody challenges Chuck Norris when he gets off the plane to come fight Bruce later. And this dude is talking shit. And one of Chuck's goons steps up in front and he stops him. And he has this look like...
Stops.
Do you see this outfit? Do you see
these wide lapels?
Do you see this shit?
I'm dressed all in white. You know I didn't show up for this? Come on.
Do you see these fucking shades? And he just handles this dude so quickly. But Michael got the abridged version, him and Caleb, and they were just dying laughing. Just like the abridged, don't worry about this. This is what's happening. And every time Chuck was on. But yeah, by the way, run up on Chuck Norris. He was a back-to-back open sparring champion. So run up on Chuck Norris. It's not just hype.
Also, just to tie in, I don't know that this is actually confirmed, but as I've heard it, the director had to tell Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee to slow down because they were moving so fast that it wasn't catching up on the camera frames per second.
Probably. I know Jet Li, they shoot him fast sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because those two, Chuck Norris has come out and said that, I really don't think, he was kind and respectful to me, but, I don't think Bruce Lee liked me at all. He was really trying to kill me. He's about it, man. And Chuck had to be like, hey, man, we're shooting a movie,
right?
The
man literally ripped chest hair out of Chuck Norris's body. So Bruce Lee is a badass.
So, yeah, that's the list, man. Go watch Way of the Dragon. I think it's Return of the Dragon and some of the other versions. But, yeah, Chuck, just Google that. Google that fight.
Just watch Chuck Norris call out Bruce Lee from across the Roman Coliseum.
It's like a half mile away. They just zoom in it's super big. It's great. So yeah, that's the list of. They'll probably fluctuate, but that's a good idea of what we're into. Some of our likes, some of our personality traits reflected via cinema.
I hope it. We'll get some good content. It'll be all right.
Yeah. Tucker, have you seen any of these?
Not many of them.
We're cutting all that shit out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right.
I've seen Iron Man.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Way of the Dragon or Return of the Dragon or whatever it is.
So that's all for us tonight. We're gonna just go ahead and call it here and sign off here. Too sweet. As always. And thank you much. We'll catch you next time on the As of Yet Unnamed podcast.
Dudley Boys out.